Okay, right now we're going for the conduit swap. So actually, if you want to go conduit, you actually need to go, there are two opportunities like you can go it. One is that you're going conductive armament. So actually, when you're using weapon skill, you actually give yourself affinity. So everything that is over the F2 is pretty stronger. If you go this way, it's gonna give you affinity every time you're swapping the legends. So it's also good. So actually, this is the way to go for me. Some players more likely use this, but I think this is more better for the terms of the roaming, not inside of the like zerg. If you don't know about the conduit or how it's been played, it's like pretty hard to play. I think it's more harder to play than the indicator. Actually, it's more harder to play because it's got more pressure on range, but lower movement output on the terms of that. It depends how do you play it. Some increasing in the attributes, and this is important. You get heal and endurance whenever you gain affinity. Affinity is this 5 bars above your legendary stand. So actually, every time you getting affinity, you getting healing and endurance. This can be swapped if you got problems with conditions for this. You're losing the condition when you're activating Cosmic Wisdom and every interval where you have active that. So Cosmic Wisdom is this F3 skill. Okay, so actually it's your oh shit button when you got so many condis, and this is it. So this is good. In another stance, the 3rd minute trails specialization you equip is improve the effectiveness. So actually you got something more, and you get some boons actually. So it's also good. And the last thing, you need to play this. This can be played only if you're playing Condi build, but actually it's not played inside of the zergs. And this, yeah, it's give you like something more on the terms of the boons. But actually they nerfed it because there is no, if you see it, 5 targets, so only 4. So actually it's not for full sub squad, so it's not more useful like it was before the nerf. This is actually the best because it's actually reducing the recharge of the invoke of the legends. So actually you got more uptime on that, so it's good. As you see, the basic stuff in the terms of the traits lines on the devastation and invocation, it stays same. There is no changes here, actually no changes. Because I want to say the swap first, because the conduit is more like melee dependent to be in squad. Actually it's good to go like rapid flow because it's gonna give you double healing from these sources. So actually it's kind of synergy together with the affinity stack. So actually you got self heal pretty much. So it's actually more sustained if you play like this or learning this. In the terms of the weapons, like hammer is still possible, but hammer is pretty OP on the windies and heralds, not on the conduits, but it can be tested. So actually it's not the last word for that, so you can go. But in the terms of the zerg, you should be playing the spear, or I don't know if it's called spear, but I'm saying that like this. Because you need to have these 2 runes like force and bloodlust, because actually it can be range and melee. If you look on the skills, it can be melee and range, and the range is 600 yards. So actually this is the gap for the nowadays fighting. So this is it. Number 1, 2 is pretty good. Number 3 is something like the evade, and if you can hit the enemies with all 3, I don't know, is that mines? If you can hit enemies with all 3 mines, actually it's giving tons of DPS. It's actually the hardest hitting skill in the whole spear line if you're hitting with this 3. In the terms of another skills, number 4 is actually pull. So actually if you want to pull the enemy, you can go like this and number 4, and actually you pull the enemy inside the center and give him like hard stack. It's good for the calls of the I don't know, melee engages and stuff when the command is called for melee. Number 2 is your go-to skill, and you spam it as much as possible because it's actually giving you the stacks if you're hitting the enemy. And after 3 stacks, you got this kind of icon here somewhere if you're hitting like enemy or anything. And after you go melee and swap from this, actually it's gonna erupt from you and giving big AoE like I was saying on the start of the practice. So it's also good. The weapon on the second side is the like GS. It's great, so actually you should go that. The rotation on the hammer and stuff, not the hammer, sorry, the rotation on the dwarf is the same like we was testing on the Windy's video or Windy practice, so it's similar. What is here different, actually, you just opening a bit different on the terms of how you're going, because if you're moving in the melee, you can go again stairs up, but if you're going melee, you should need to open, so you go F3 and F2 on enemy, and after that going this and spam and swapping. So this is a little bit different, you just need to pre-open the enemy with this skill. So this is it, and after you swap, you again going first F2, and after that again 5, 3, 2, depending, like we was talking about in the previous practice. So as it is, try to always, before you are using the F2, try to always open with F3, because it's giving the extra stuff that is written here on the hit, and also you give yourselves quickness, so everything is much quicker. In the terms of the entity stance, the entity stance is pretty good on that actually you got shield for yourself, 70% reduction on the heal skill, pulsing, and it's healing like it's like hot. Actually, it's healing over time effect. Break stun is pretty good also, but if we are not gonna discuss what you will be using in this stance, most of the time, like 90% of time, you actually use this, I don't know if I'm correctly saying that, Beguiling Haze, maybe it's called, or Beguiling Haze, I don't know. Sorry for the English in these terms, because I actually didn't like check how the pronunciation is. It's movement skill, and it's also, if you're hitting the enemy, it's actually removing from the enemy the boons, and it's resetted. So it's get resetted instantly, because if you're hitting the enemy, you can use it again once more. So it's pretty good if you're hitting enemy. So it's really good skill on these terms. On the terms of what you will be using, this skill is also good about the condition removal on you. It's actually great. And the top DPS skill is actually the elite skill. You're spamming this all the time when it's paired together with the spear. Actually, this is your starting rotation. You're starting with the spear and with the entity stance, because you're spamming like 5 on the enemy, elite skill on the enemy, again elite skill on the enemy. And this skill is more powerful if you're gonna hit with you and the enemy together. So you see, if I'm casting that, it's actually do the same stuff around me and on the enemy. So if you are in the range that you're gonna be hitting the enemy, both you and the entity, it's gonna hitting like really like truck. Actually, the highest hit I'm getting, or I get to the target was like above 10k with this. So it's actually really high. And as you see, there's a lot of topics written there. It's actually doing the similar stuff that you got on the opposite stance. So that means if you have dwarf here, actually it's gonna be using the dwarf stance. You gain boons and stuff around. So this is it. So actually this is why it's like small stairs around me, but it's only about your area, not in the area where you're hitting on the range. So actually this is the skill that you're spamming a lot. Even if you are in melee, you're actually doing the similar stuff, okay? You're doing the similar stuff. You're just spamming the F10. And after that, again F3, F2, and again, this is it all the time. Okay, so this is it for the conduit. And actually the conduit are above the play, because you need to make a combos. And as I was saying on the start of today's practice, this practice today for the classes that I hit on our Discord is for the basics. So I'm not going deep more and dig more knowledge and stuff, because actually on the terms of all Revenant skills, you need to know the combos. If you don't know the combos, or how do you do the combos, actually I showed you 1 or 2 combos that is there, and you actually need to do them like fast as possible. Otherwise you don't have DPS, or you getting stuck somewhere. Also the ref is about opening the enemy. So actually this is why in US playing refs mostly, because they're playing a little bit differently. They're playing also 3 supports, but they are playing like most opening over them, and they actually don't play so much necros and stuff like in Europe actually now. So this is it. Okay, that was on the terms of conduit, and this is it.